What's up, cousins? Welcome back to another episode of SoulPrimos. My name is Melvin Diaz.
And I'm Joel Romero. Shit.
Oh, we're feeling good. We're feeling good, man. We haven't seen each other in a while. Yes. And right before we started recording, we were just talking about, things about a person that we know, and she happens to be a woman.
Yes.
And it's not a bad or good conversation. It's just a conversation about life. And Joel just has the most miraculous, transcendent thought that I thought was so fascinating. He said, "Hey, look, Melvin, men and women are different." And I was like, "Wow, whoa,
yeah." And I was nervous.
I had no idea.
I was nervous about saying that.
Yeah.
Because hot takes can be controversial.
You thought I was going to get offended.
I thought you were going to be upset.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to disagree with me. You're going to be like the factitious. You're going to say these big words.
Yes.
But I was just saying what I feel.
Yeah.
I was spitting that truth.
Yeah. And then you proceeded to be like, "Hey, look, my mom, she was a woman.
Yeah.
She's a woman."
I told people, "Hey, my girl, that's a woman.
Yeah.
My mother gave birth to me. That's a woman."
Yeah.
And they're different than men.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah. And I thought you were like so brave for saying that.
A lot of people call me brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after you were like, "Hey, look, if you want your dreams to come true, you have to work hard." And I was like, dude, Joel really is dropping these gems.
Oh,
these
bro,
life-altering gems.
People see me and they just see like a clown. They just see like a joke. They see like a painting, like a scripture, like a
bloke.
Like a bloke. People see a bloke, right? Oh, does he do coke? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, am I invited? Oh, yes, I'm stoked. Right? Yeah.
But people see that.
Okay.
They see you as a caricature.
Yes, and I'm not someone you want to poke. Okay.
Yeah. Yo. Do you know what a caricature means?
Yes. Facade.
Well, it's an exaggerated version of who you really are.
Yes, and I think when people see me, like I said, it's like a wild animal. It's like a bear. It's like a grizzly bear in the wild. Like you don't expect it. And It's like it's marvelous.
Yeah,
marvelous. You recently saw a young man who likes the show actually.
Oh yes,
and you were in the arts district.
Yes.
Oh wait! Before we even start, shout out to El Whiskeyletto for sending us to Still Austin. Right now we are drinking which one, baby boy?
Right now we're drinking Cask Strength Bourbon Whiskey.
Yes,
bourbon whiskey. 56 alcohol or 58% alcohol, 116 proof. I don't know what any of those numbers mean words mean, but it tastes pretty darn good.
Yes, and listen, like I said, men or women.
Men or women, women or men, baby. Who gives a fuck? When you're drinking this whiskey, not a fucking matters, baby.
Fuck whatever.
Wait, whoa. I'll drink to that.
Let me drink. Can I drink?
Yeah. Can I drink this, Joel? Please?
Look, men and women are different, and we're men.
You say Ben? Ben is different from women.
Well, what are you, Ben Parker? Bro, if you saw Ben Parker on the floor, what'd you say to him?
Benjamin?
Yeah, like his uncle, Uncle Ben.
Oh, Uncle Ben, yeah.
Who'd you our homie named Ben? You were like, oh, Ben, I don't know.
I was like, is there like an Asian politician named Ben Parker?
No. Benjamin is fucking Peter Parker's father.
But what you were saying before, I did meet a gentleman that was a fan of the show at a bar in downtown LA.
Yes.
When I was completely, absolutely obliterated on Sunday morning. His name's Alan. Shout out to Alan, man. You were cool. He's like a bouncer at the bar.
Yes.
And me and my homies walked in to use the restroom.
Yes.
Turns out we walked into this bar called the Flamingo Bar, which was like, it seemed like Miami Vice. And there was a drag show going on. And I told my homies, like, I think we need to stay to see this drag show. Yeah. Because I think the winning drag queen was going to get like $500. And I was like, I need to see what they do.
Oh, yes, of course.
And they brought it. They danced, they sang, they put their private parts close to people who wanted to see the private parts. You get what I'm saying?
Which is the most important thing.
Yeah, it was the very most important thing. And people were throwing dollars at them. And then at one point, I thought it was cool, but then at one point I started realizing how much money was on the floor, and I was like, oh shit, this is a lot of money. I'm gonna walk to the bathroom and I'm gonna slide my feet.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I can see you doing drag. Mostly because I've seen you do drag.
Yes. I did do I did get drag makeup put on me for one of the episodes of the M Word, which Joel filmed and directed.
Which is still all on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. You just type in Melvin Diaz drag queen.
Yes.
And Ophelia was a drag queen that did my makeup.
Yeah, she was amazing.
And her drag name is Ophelia, and their original name that they were born with, Simon.
Ooh,
yeah, Simon.
Simon Says, baby. Oh, am I being freaky? I'll say this, man. You as a drag, it's hard
You're getting frustrated.
Hard to contain myself.
Okay. I realized we were in the bathroom together when I was in the drag makeup. Remember? Because we had did we have another guest coming up after?
Yes, we did.
And then I had to go to the bathroom and wipe off all this makeup that took 2 hours to put on.
Yeah.
And that was it was a cool experience, man.
Yeah, we were in the restroom together and I was like, take it off. And then you're like, yeah, I probably should take it off. And I was like, oh, yeah, take off the makeup. Yeah. But I messed something else.
And you were recording.
I was recording the whole thing. Yeah. And it was such a good time, man. It's such a different part of our lives, man. We were so much younger. We were mid-20s, man. Yeah. Mid-20s is I feel like mid-20s is way different than late 20s, even though it's a change of only 4 or 5 years. Yeah. 5 years is actually fucking like 30s. But the person I am now is different than the person I am in my mid-20s.
Do you think the person you are when we first met is different than the person you are now?
Oh, yes.
But how so?
I killed him. I feel like he's dead. I feel like I don't even, that version doesn't exist. I feel like he was like a lost puppy and he was trying to figure himself out. And also, it's like I was working towards things that I'm still working towards now. And it was at the very beginning where you're just not really that confident, not really sure if everything's going to work out. You don't really know. You're just kind of going with the flow. You don't really have a plan. You're not really sure. But... And there were just a lot of things up in the air, right? And now as I reach my early 30s, there's a plan. There's things that I can see further into the distance. Like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I got to take care of. This is what the things I got to do to make sure that this is what my future looks like. Back then, it was just kind of like, what's happening? Oh, I'm doing a job here, Oh, what's up? What's going on? Oh, I meet these people. Yeah. It was just a lot of exploring, taking in experiences and people and opportunities. It was so much of taking in. Where now it's very similar, but it's also like, okay, let me choose where my energy goes to. Let me choose the things that I do. Let me say no to this, as in no to these jobs, or just to these people, that I don't really want to hang out with, or just things. I'm saying no a lot more. Yeah. Because I'm a different man, bro. What about you? Do you feel the man you were?
What you're saying is that I changed your life.
I honestly feel that you ruined my life.
Oh, interesting take.
God damn, this is good.
Interesting take.
Give me another shot, baby.
Interesting take.
Hot take. Men and women are different, so are Melvin and Joel. You know what I mean? Melvin and Joel are very fucking different.
Yeah, we are different. We have a lot of similarities.
Okay. What do you think our similarities are?
We're Latino.
And don't say vocabulary.
What? Don't say vocabulary.
What did I say?
Vocabulary.
Our vocabulary can be different.
Our vocabulary, yes.
Vocabulary. God damn it.
Our enunciation of our speech can be different as well.
Okay, I'll say this. We went to what's that one shitty place? Bakersfield one time. Yeah. We went to Benny's, right? Or Denny's, but it was a shitty Denny's. We called it Benny's. It was a funny inside joke. Yeah. We sat down. We had a deep ass talk. One of the earliest deep ass talks we've had post Isamo breakup.
Or pre-Isamo breakup. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I got to change my ways. And you were like, what's wrong? What have you been doing on the side? And I was like, no, I got to enunciate my words. Man.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's very hard to listen to myself talk because everything is just like, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And it just sounds like I'm just saying nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't. That wasn't when we were at Denny's. We were driving back from Bakersfield after we had a great show.
Oh yes,
and I got obliterated.
Oh yes, because you like to drink in the vehicle.
Outside. Yeah, I like to drink, right? And then
no, I'm saying you like to drink outside and inside. I don't like drinking in the car because I feel like my stomach gets all fucking weird.
Yeah. And then we were on the way back, and I thought I did pretty good at the show, so I was just having a good time. And you were like, "Yeah, I want to get a speech therapist so I could be better at podcasting." Yeah. And I remember being like, "Wait, are you serious? Are you serious? That's pretty legit. That's pretty self-aware and wanting to be better." And but you never did it.
No, I didn't say speech therapist. I said I want to get better speech so I can talk to a therapist. I got you, you son of a bitch. Fuck you, man. I fucking got you, man.
I need a motivational speech so I can speak to his therapist. Yeah. You didn't do either.
I didn't do either of those. My speech might have been worse.
And your mental health got worse as well.
Deterioration.
Yeah.
Deterioration.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's true even now I feel like I need to enunciate my words, but the more I enunciate, the more I
lose
slur.
yourself.
The more I lose yourself.
The more you lose yourself.
It's hard. I don't know when I listen to people like you and you tell stories, everything is enunciated. I know when a word starts, I know when a word ends.
Yeah.
Where do I begin? Where do I end?
Yeah.
The shaft?
What the fuck? What do you mean the shaft?
Fuck.
You're losing yourself.
What did I say, man? I am losing myself. Okay. Yeah. Where do I begin? Where do I end?
Yeah.
Where do my words begin? Where do I end?
Yeah.
Have you always been a well-spoken gentleman?
Yes. I think I have. I think my teachers and the adults around me always pressured me to speak up, son. Speak up. Because I would always be like, when I was growing up, I'd be like, hey, because I was so big that I didn't want to be big and loud. Now I'm big and loud. But like before I was like, and they'd be like, speak up. You know, like my older sister, we'd be ordering at like Panda Express or something like that. And then I'd be like, can you tell him I want orange chicken? She's like, tell him yourself.
Oh, it's the worst.
And I'm just like, and then I would look, and at the time, you know, they just seemed like just adults that were like so more like bigger and more powerful than you.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, you know, she's a Latina woman that's 5'3", and she's got like 3 kids, and she just wants to know what you want,
bro.
But back then I'd be like, oh, orange chicken, and my sister would be like, speak up, damn, speak up, and I'd be like, orange chicken, please, and half and half rice and chow mein.
Dude, I'll say this, man. Growing up, one of the most intense and biggest fears anybody has is ordering at a fucking restaurant, man.
Yeah.
Ordering at a restaurant is intense because you look at the menu, and then when all the pressure is on you, what would you like? It just your voice it gets lower and your voice starts cracking because everybody looks at you like, what is he gonna get?
Yeah.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna tell this guy? And then like you're just like, oh, can I get a drink? And got a drink. Pepsi. We have Diet Pepsi. We actually don't have Pepsi. You want Coke?
Actually, I don't want anything.
and then when you're a kid, you're just like, you look at your parent and you're like, tell them.
Yeah,
You're just like, oh, I don't know what I want. And then they fucking get mad at you. And then everybody's looking at you. And everybody's like, hey, just order what you want. And then you're like, I don't know what I want. And then you start freezing up and shit.
Or like in the doctor's office when you go with your like parents and they're just like, so like, when's the last time you had a tummy ache? And you're just like, you look at your mom, she's like, tell them. And you're like, I forget, I don't know. And then the doctor's just like, oh, dude, we have to inject you now.
Yeah, and the doctor's like, what are you gonna stop being a bitch? And
Yeah,
like, Mom.
And mom's like, no, he's right, mijo. If you keep doing it, you're gonna get left here.
Oh my god.
And then you look at the doctor's like this.
Oh hell.
Just rubbing his hands together. You're like, Mom, please, por favor.
You ever got a physical, man?
Have I ever got a what?
What last time you got a physical?
That thing said, you got a physical with a man? What the fuck?
Oh.
What the hell?
Hey, man,
A physical, yes.
A physical is getting physical with a man.
Yeah, when you're in sports, okay, competitive competition.
Coaches.
No. You have to get a physical, or else you're not gonna be able to participate and play.
Who told you this?
The law.
Jude Law?
Yeah, no, but like even in like professional sports like the NBA, you have to get a physical every time, every season and shit like that. Even like the highest of high in sports.
What about the lowest of lows?
You have to get physical as well. Okay. Why? Do you have bad experiences with the physical?
I've had one physical in my life.
You've only had one physical in your life?
Yeah. Dude, she was all shook.
You only had one physical in your life.
Should I be more physical? Okay, wait. Should I get more?
Yes.
Why?
You gotta have one at least like once a year.
My doctor was all crazy. She's like, put down your pants. And then my mom was right behind me. She's like, go ahead. And I was like, oh, does my mom have to be here?
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, I'm gonna stay here.
This is like when you're in college.
Yes.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I said
yes.
In college? I said yes.
So you were probably like 29, 28.
I went to school early on in life.
Okay.
And then she was like, you just listen to the lady and drop your pants. Mm-hmm. And I dropped my pants. I dropped my pants, not my boxers, because I was like shy. She was like, oh, I need to see your penis. Mm-hmm. And I was like, asking, you shall receive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she pulled my boxers down. I just remember how long my pubes were. Just straight on, fucking,
like Tarzan.
Just straight on, just like it's like all the pubes like attracted to her. It's like all
like the
spiked.
kinetic energy.
Yeah,
like
just
the
fucking
electric. Yeah, the static energy. Like
yeah, it just went towards her, and she was like, "Oh my!" Right, and then
she's like. She's like, oh, I got one in my mouth.
And I was like, yeah. And then she just, I remember, she was just like pulling my hair, like just going through like the pubes and shit, and just like, and she was like, okay, dude. She did that one thing where she was like, she grabbed my ball, and I was just like, oh,
Your ball.
my ball.
You only have one.
At that time, I felt like I had one, man. No, because I got so nervous that my balls came up into my body
and merged into
one fucking ball. What, you ever seen your balls like that? It looks like a fucking turtle shell.
It's cold.
Yeah, bro. It just looked one little thing, bro. It's like
that's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, bro, it just being one little ball, and then she was just like, she couldn't even grasp it. It was just sliding off. Damn it. You could hear.
It's like a claw machine. It's
you could hear her just like, oh, damn it, come on. And then she finally grabbed it like this. And she's like, cough. And I was like, all right. And I forgot what the point of that is. If you have like diabetes or some shit. And then I coughed to my left and to my right, and I looked up and coughed. And then it was time. She was like, do you know how to clean your penis? I was like, why? Who wants to know? All right, that's just like, well, I need to see how you clean your penis, because I don't know if people know this. Hot take. I want circumcised. Right?
Yeah.
Hot take. Is that crazy? Okay, so I have to not be graphic, I have a sweater.
Yeah.
Also,
You have a turtleneck.
Oh yes, more importantly, a turtleneck sweater, because sweaters can have a V-neck or some
Yeah.
shit. I have a turtleneck sweater. So I remember she pulled that shit back. She broke that shit down, man. Okay. She pulled that shit back, and I remember just like my eyes were just like, ooh.
Damn.
I have never felt that connection.
Yeah.
That touch.
Yeah.
I was a new man.
Yeah, that euphoric touch.
Yeah. And then she pulled it back, and she was like, oh, you gotta start cleaning. Right?
Oh my God.
And I was like,
You're like cleaning?
You're right there, right? Clean that shit up.
Yeah.
She pulled that shit back, and I was just like, damn. And then she was like, you're gonna want to trim these, just maintain like cleanliness, and then she just pulled that shit back a couple times, and I don't know. After a couple times, I was like, "Is this still physical, or am I getting physical?" She pulled that shit back a couple times, man.
Or are you getting a fist in cold? Please go ahead.
And I look back. My mom's like, ¿Todo está bien? I'm just like, see. Now everything's good.
Yeah. She's like, all right, because we got to go back home and get your.
I'm not going to get your enema.
Get your enema.
I'm not going back home. But yeah, she just gave me that fizz. And then after that, I was just like, I feel like I became a man after that shit.
Yeah.
But also, I'd never gotten a physical after that.
Yeah. I think like you. So you were young. You were a very young boy when this happened?
I would say like early 10s.
Yeah.
To late 20s. No, to late 10s.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, when you have a turtleneck sweater and you're not circumcised, the doctor has to teach you how to cleanse yourself, how to clean yourself. And I had that talk in my kindergarten class. A doctor came. I don't know if this is legal or. I swear to God, this is not even a joke. I was in kindergarten. And a doctor came by in like full doctor's garment and a nurse, and then we're just like, what the hell? This is weird. And they start putting like curtains up and partitions to like get some privacy. And then we look over and all our parents are outside, and we're just like, what the fuck? And all my friends are like, what the hell? That's my mom. That's my mom. What the hell? My dad's here. And one by one, they all take us outside, and one by one we have to go inside, and the doctor gives us like a physical checkup. And I remember they made me drop my pants on the reading carpet. You know, where all the kids like sit down and read books. The teacher reads to them. That's where the physical checkup was at. I don't know if this. Now that I say it out loud, I don't know if this was like legal or I just grew up in a very poor community, but they made me drop my pants, and the doctor said the same thing. It was a lady doctor. She was just like, she pulled me back, and she was just like, yeah, so you have to pull it back when you clean it. And I was just like, what the fuck? And my mom was behind me and she was just like, you hear that, mijo? And I'm just like, yeah. And I was just in the kindergarten classroom with my fucking dick out as a kindergarten child. And yeah, that your story kind of triggered that memory in me.
I think you got molested.
I think. Did I suppress that memory for a reason?
I think you got molested, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, listen.
I can.
Listen. Listen.
I think poorer communities need more federal funding.
Oh, yes.
So we can. So the children can afford to go to an actual clinic facility.
Yes. Yeah. This
And not just put up a tent in front of the fucking puppets, in front of fucking Mr. Johnson, the reading moose.
Yeah, and where you read, like, how filthy is that, man? You like pull your dick out somewhere else.
I literally, they all left, and the next morning we were in the reading circle again, and we were reading The Little Train That Could, and I'm just like in my head as like I'm like 4 or 5 years old. In my head, I'm like, I just have my dick out here. Yes,
you're bragging about that shit, huh?
No, I was like shy, and then all my other friends are like, did they make you pull your dick out here too? And I was just like, what the fuck? And it's just like these little 4-year-olds talking to each other like, was that fucking crazy or was that just me?
Yeah.
Like
that no wonder you had to grow up fast, man.
Elementary school is called Fletcher Drive Elementary School.
No,
I don't know
what was the name of this doctor or this doctor?
I don't know. I don't remember. But I remember Mrs. Oles was my teacher and she fucking smacked my head one time.
Why?
Because I wasn't like paying attention or something like that. And like, I remember like, she was like, you go over there. You said, you go over there. And then I was just like in the middle and she's just like, you, Melvin, go over there. And I guess I was walking too slow and she just smacked the back of my head. And I remember being like, I remember crying, obviously.
What?
And I told my fucking parents and my parents got so pissed. And they told the principal and like they had a whole big thing and the teacher had to like apologize to all the parents and stuff like that.
Well, your school, they hit you? Like the teachers were known to hit the students?
I guess this particular teacher, she was like an older white woman, like very old.
Very old school.
Yeah, very old school, yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I wasn't the first kid that she smacked.
Yeah.
I was just like, I guess I was like the only one that told their parents and their parents did something about them. Because I'm sure other kids told their parents and the parents are like, whatever. Like,
well, teaching is a hard job, man. Teaching is a hard job.
Yeah.
And there are many ways to discipline a child in a student environment, in a class environment. Sometimes kids don't listen, man. What can you do? If you go to work, the kid's sitting in the wrong seat, and
you would smack them.
Yeah.
Or then you would sock them. You go, sight.
Douche.
Yeah.
For me, I was a good student.
Oh, really?
That's not his seat. I was like, he doesn't sit there.
Teacher, Malcolm's in the wrong seat.
He's in the wrong seat. Switch him. He sits over here. I'll be that guy. There was this guy I think every school had this. There was this guy who would always blow his nose and in the inside of his fucking sweater. So it would always like, and he would just had fucking mocos inside of his sweater. And it would be all crusty and shit. He was a chubby fellow. Not that matters, but he was a big old fellow. And he was known just to be like the weird kid that would just like wipe his burgers on his shirt, wipe his boogers on his sweater.
I think growing up in public school, I think the older that you get, the more you realize that some of your fellow students were possibly on the spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly on the spectrum, and it just never went checked. It just went unchecked, and no one really paid too much attention, and they just flew under the radar just enough where, they weren't like, it wasn't like obvious that they were, but like when you would speak to them, it was just like, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And it's not a knock on people on the spectrum, but it's best to get the help that you need.
Yeah.
Or the services that you need.
Yeah, because then you're a child, you're a kid, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what the spectrum even means.
Yeah.
Man.
You just think that kid's weird.
You're just like, what the fuck? Like you threw up on yourself and you just like ate it? Like
yeah.
And you're going to class next?
Yeah.
I have you for my next period. It's a lot of weird shit you see. Yeah. You just kind of be like, okay, it's just life. This is my classmate. This is my school.
Like I had this one kid, his name was, I don't want to say his name, but started with the B. And he was like Fairly Odd Parents was a popular cartoon at the time. Yes. And he like believed that he had Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know for a fact, looking back at it, he was autistic as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, he was good at math. So all the teachers didn't give a fuck. They were like, yeah, as long as he does his homework. But when you would speak to him, he was like, he thought he had Fairly Odd Parents. He thought that that he could fly. He thought that, you know, he would like, he was not joking. He would be like, hey, what do you want? I'll wish it for you.
Damn.
Yeah. And in hindsight, that's pretty nice.
That's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty like, you know, I have the power to get anything. What do you want? But nothing ever came true.
So he was full of shit.
Yeah, it was full of fucking shit. And people would want to beat him up for it.
Did people ever beat him up?
Yeah, this one guy, Hector, I'll say his name because he was an asshole. He was a very flamboyant homosexual little boy.
Yeah.
And I know this because in high school, he followed me on Instagram and I saw his profile and he's like a very openly homosexual man now. Yeah. He'd be like, I keep wanting to say his name, but he'd be like, let's say his name's Derek. He's like, Derek, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're the dumbest fucking person I've ever met. He would just say this, and then Derek would be like, haha, Sam, nah, man.
Damn.
And like, he did everything a bully does to someone except physically assault. Like, he would just berate this poor kid. And he'd be like, you're the dumbest motherfucker alive. Like, you're
so fucking weird.
Like the fact, like, he's like the fact, like, I remember one time he was like, no, you don't have Fairly Odd Parents. You probably don't even have parents, probably. And we were waiting in line to get back into class after recess, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, Hector, what the fuck?" Yeah. But he doesn't have Fairly Odd Parents.
Dude, it's like middle school's hard.
I remember being a fucking. This was in first, second grade. I'd be like, I remember being like 8, 9 years old, or 7, 8 years old, being like, well, you know, someone has to tell them.
You're a fucking ass. You didn't defend him. You're a piece of shit.
I didn't
bro.
defend him.
School is hard, man.
Well, because I wished for a fucking crocodile hunter backpack and it never came.
What the fuck do you mean?
He said, "What do you want, Melvin? I'll wish it." I was like, "Give me a crocodile hunter backpack."
Oh, so he was full of shit.
It never came.
So did you ever bring it up to him?
Yeah, I was like, "Where's the?" He's like, and I remember being like, "What's he gonna say?" This is, you know, his Fairly Odd Parents thing. He's like, "Oh, actually, you know, like they're just busy." He was just like, "They're busy and like you know, and then they're just busy doing other wishes." And I'm like, "I thought you said the wishes were instantaneously, like Timmy Turner does with his Fairly Odd Parents, like Cosmo and Wanda does with Timmy Turner." And he's just like, "Oh no, they're not Cosmo and Wanda."
Bro, this guy's a pathological liar, bro.
Well, he's just autistic,
or he's a liar. I mean, maybe both of each.
Both, yeah, a little bit
one
both.
Of each.
Yeah,
you know, middle school, elementary school is hard, man.
Yeah,
I had a rough time in middle school. Extremely hard time.
Why?
I was scared, man.
Of what?
Terrified, man. Of fights. I was scared of fucking fights.
That's why you became a boxer?
Maybe. I'm not a boxer, but I am learning to protect myself against children. Right? But I remember my brother always told me, hey, when you go to middle school, there's going to be fucking fights and shit.
Yeah.
There's going to be fights all the time. And I was like, this ain't got shit on me. You know who I am. You know where I come from. I come from fucking... I don't want to say my fucking address. I was about to say my address. Like, no, I'm scared of nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember I went to fucking like one of the first couple months of school. There were just two girls. One was named Rebecca and like another girl, right? And they were fucking. I got out of PE. I think I've said this story before. And I was drinking water. From like right next to the PE, the little water fountain, right, the little white one. And then I looked back, and then Rebecca came up to this other girl, and she's like, "You fucking bitch!" Grabbed her hair, and fucking they started fucking girl fighting, like pulling on the hair and punching. And I got so fucking scared, and I was like 30 feet away. I got so scared, my knees gave out, and my back landed on the water fountain, and I was like, "Ah!"
What the fuck?
I just like almost fainted and shit, dude.
Whoa!
I almost fucking fainted.
Just kidding. We don't judge.
Yeah, I realized that I'm not the man that I thought I was.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that if a fight ever broke loose, I'd be the first one like, "Hey, no,
yeah.
this isn't right. We're sixth graders. This isn't okay. Right?
Yeah.
We're better than this."
Yeah.
But I fucking almost fainted. I fell down. My back was hurting and shit.
Yeah.
And then the security guard had to come on his bike and separate those two. And then she walked away like, "You're a fucking hoe, bitch," right? And they were friends at the beginning of the year. Yeah. And after that, I realized, damn, it's gonna be a rough fucking couple of years.
Yeah.
Man.
When you see like your first fist fight at the school, I remember the same situation in sixth grade. And like the second day of school, I'm walking to my counseling office to get my like schedule, and I see these two, because you know when you're in sixth grade, eighth graders are so fucking massive.
Yeah.
Even for me, like they were big. You know what I mean, bigger than me, and like, you know, I saw these two cholo eighth graders get down and like blood everywhere, just socks, and I remember being like. I felt like if I was in the wilderness and two tigers were fighting 10 feet in front of me, how helpless and in danger you'd feel. Like at any moment, these tigers can just stop what they're doing and just attack me. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. Where I was like, holy shit! Like these guys, like I remember them just like boxing and getting down, and it took like, I'm not even joking, bro. It took 3 security guards and 5 teachers to break them up.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and they got blood everywhere, and the cops had to come and arrest them because that's how deadly the fight was.
Damn,
and
bro.
It's just like it's one of those things where you're just like, for the rest of the day, you're just like, whoa,
you're shooken up. That's all you talk about. You're shook, you're shaking and shit.
Like your adrenaline's pumping, but you don't know why.
Yeah,
because it's the first time you ever encountered something.
Yeah,
and it's strange because the danger's not directed at you, but you're just in the vicinity of the danger. Also, you're in fucking 6th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's just like, whoa. And you're supposed to be in an establishment that's quote unquote safe.
Yeah.
A fucking school.
Meanwhile, sometimes you think you're in Arkham.
Arkham Asylum. Yeah, that's really
you got public the Joker. You got fucking who else is there? You
Little
got Bane,
Joker,
Little Bane, little Bane ass fool.
Yeah, fucking the Heine, Harley Quinn,
Harley been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Man. Everybody's fucking. It's like an asylum, bro.
Fucking
People talking shit. You got the fucking shufflers, the swag. You know, the swag guys.
The
you got the fucking you got the jerkers. I had there was a group of guys. I like these foods. They were called they used to be a jerking squad. They called themselves Shark Squad, right?
Jerking was a dance back in the day.
Yes. Yeah, and they used to do this Shark Squad, one of these, right? And we'll be keeping the jerking movement alive, homie. And they'll be fucking jerking. They were like the cool kids in school, man. They went through every phase. They were the skaters, they were the fucking jerkers and the shufflers. And then before we used to skate together, then we started playing Halo 3 together, and then like they kind of lost me with the shuffling and jerking. Not because I wasn't into that, but I couldn't understand the movement of those specific dances.
You couldn't dance.
I wouldn't say that. I just spilled alcohol. Fuck, damn it. But I don't know, man. High school was different, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
That actually reminds me of a question I want to ask you. When you were that young in elementary school, middle school, high school, how did you envision like marriage?
Yeah. Probably chaos. Probably like no, I thought it was good.
Chaos? Fucking Batman comic book talk. Okay. Think about chaos.
I think anarchy.
I think I wanted to introduce a little anarchy. I think I wanted to upset the established order.
Okay.
That's so stupid.
I'm sorry. It's chaos. I just what the fuck, dude? I was Jehovah Witness.
Oh, okay.
Witness. I thought I was gonna marry a Jehovah girl and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they say those are the freakiest girls.
Oh, some might say. But what I mean to say is the idea of marriage was very beautiful, and it was very like half and half almost.
Half and half. You know, we had some peers that were talking about on social media how even though they're independent and they can, you know, they could do whatever they want with their life, they still want their significant other to provide financial compensation 100%.
You're saying more specifically, the woman does not want to be with a man that isn't ready to provide everything.
Yes.
And doesn't want to split 50-50 because at that point it feels like they're just a friend with this guy.
Yeah, like a roommate. And then vice versa, the man is just like, oh, if I'm gonna be with someone, I have to pay everything.
Okay, how do you feel?
I think it's unhealthy.
Ooh.
It's not about how much money you have, or it's not about the kind of the parameters that society has put on men and women. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't think people realize, cheers, baby. I don't think people realize how much of a prison of your own design it is to live life with having someone pay 100% of everything for you.
Yeah.
On paper, it sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
But any little thing, that person can just take it away from you. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That person can fucking cheat on you. That person can fucking mistreat you. And be abusive, and you're just like, damn, I can't go because I have no money, I have no job, I have no shelter. They own the house, they own the cars. You know what I mean? Like, if you know, if we want to get divorced, they have the better lawyers. You know what I mean? And I fucking signed the prenup. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as glamorous as it seems. Yeah. Because if that was the case, then everyone would be happily married to their millionaire husbands.
Are we just too new school, or is this the old school dying out? Because I feel like this. I feel like I would want to do a 50-50 thing, 50-50 split. Especially if we're raising a family, we want to buy a home, we want to fucking put a mortgage out. It's like, dude, we're in this together. Having a home is a huge financial responsibility, right? Unless I'm making like 200, 300 fucking K or 400K a year, I don't mind doing it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like some guys also want to provide everything just because they feel like that's what a man really is, right? Yeah. And maybe they feel like, okay, I don't have to listen to my girl, I don't have to do this, I don't have to be a good partner, I don't have to fucking be loyal, I don't do this. Because there's a lot more that goes into being a provider than just fucking money and a good husband and a good partner. I feel like, how do you make her feel? Do you make her feel loved? Do you make her feel beautiful? Do you listen to her? Do you talk to her?
Do you support her goals, her dreams,
her ambition? Do you do little things like fucking, if you know she's into this little hobby, do you want to buy stuff especially for that? If you know she likes fucking cat socks, you buy her cat socks.
Do you know how to cheer her up when she's down? Do you know how to calm her down when she's stressed? Do you know how to do these little things? You're
saying if I do all those things and I still able to provide for my half and provide for other things and like buy food, buy this, if I don't provide all the bills and all that goes out the window and I'm just like a fucking home to you, I'm just like a fucking roommate to you. For me, that's just like that's almost blasphemous.
Look,
dude.
I have a lot of friends in LA that are sugar babies.
Ooh,
quite a few actually, like 4 or 5. They're not happy. They're happy. They have money, but they're not happy. They're not fulfilled. I'll never forget this. My 8th grade science teacher, Mrs. Gilbert, she would preach all the time to the girls in our class. She's like, don't marry just because of the money. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's not as cool as it sounds. When someone pays everything for you, they feel entitled to disrespect you, to abuse you, to mistreat you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking look at Kevin Hart's wife. When that cheating scandal came out, and everyone's like, "Ooh, she's gonna divorce Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's gonna lose half his money." Yeah. She came out and she was like, "Well, that's just the territory that happens when you date a man at that caliber." Yeah. In other words, it's like, I knew he's been cheating, but I live in a mansion.
Yeah.
And I can literally eat whatever I want, and my children's children are gonna be financially secure.
Yeah.
And my family's financially secure. My parents are financially secure.
Yeah.
And also, I live in a mansion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Kevin Hart can fuck
whoever
he wants.
And for me also, it's like there's this question that always comes about. It's like, what does the woman provide, right? If when they want 50 or when they want to be completely taken care of, right? For me, like when I think about what a woman provides, I think some people think that like, oh, they want you to cook, they want you to clean. I'm like, you don't have to do fucking.
You just listen to me.
Yeah, listen to me and talk to me, and can we just hang out, go to the movies, and laugh and shit? Yeah, I don't need you to fucking. Oh, I'm home in like 2 hours. There better be fucking food ready.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, I go to work at 8, so you better be up at 7. Making me
breakfast to take home, to take to the work. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, get your sleep done.
Yeah. I'm gonna DoorDash some dinner. Yeah. Like, what do you want? So we can eat together. I want to eat together and watch a show together.
Yeah. I'm be like, baby, we have an air fryer. I'm gonna get some chicken and then I'm gonna fucking put it in the air fryer and then I'm gonna make rice and then if you want, you can make some of your brownies that you like and then fucking I'm gonna go buy alcohol. Yeah. We'll come back
and we live a beautiful life together.
Yeah.
I don't want our people listening to misconstrue what we're saying. We're not talking that corny fucking sexist misogynistic shit where it's just like, oh, women only want you fucking money. No, we're saying that love should be at the root of everything. Love and support and friendship should be at the root of a relationship, not how much, who can provide what, and you just go fucking, there's nothing wrong with going 50-50.
Yeah.
You go, that's literally what a marriage is and a relationship is like you go through life with someone else. You don't give 100% to your partner. 100% doesn't leave you. It's like, okay, now we're going to share this life together.
Yeah.
50-50 of this life.
I would like to think that if I was a woman.
Well, okay, that's why you're stuttering.
And then I had a provider, a man, we have a house, and I'm like, oh yeah, you pay $4,000 for the house every month. and then on top of that, all the bills and all the extra bills, and so you spend like $7,000 a month. First of all, I'd be like, what the fuck do you do, right? And then first of all, I'd feel a little bad, like, dude, all this, you work your whole life just to fucking be spending it all. Like I said, unless you're like fucking millionaire making racking money, I guess I could see it. But part of me just would feel bad a little bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, especially someone that I really, really love, really care for. Yeah. This is just me thinking as a woman, but I'm not a woman. Because men and women are different, right?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
I feel like, man, I don't want to pitch in. I want to be helped. Like, this is our family. This is our house. This is us right here, right? Yeah. I feel like I don't want to give the financial burden all on you. We split it, and then it kind of evens us out, and then it's like, fucking, we're in this together, dude. Yeah. This is our house, baby.
And it's so crazy because you only see these types of conversation online. Yeah. In the real world, most women are not like that. Most women are like, yeah, 50-50 is perfect. Like, and most men aren't like that. Like, I don't know if
I could do 60-40.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah. I want you guys to realize if you work at Target, women aren't going to want to gold dig you. Yeah. Because you don't have no gold, brother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of guys on the internet post like, oh, women just want money, man. Women just want this and this and that. And then I'm kind of like, I know them in real life, and I'm like, dude, you work at fucking the mall. Oh. Like, why are you going after women that just care about money? There's like a certain level, you know what I mean? Just go after another woman that works at the mall as well, and you guys can have a happy life together. What the fuck? Like, or what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I think people just have to be more honest with themselves. You get what I'm saying? Like, more honest with themselves and kind of be more realistic.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
If I'm being real, like, because I had a friend, like a couple months ago he was like, man, women this, women that, and women, like, look at this girl, like, she ghosted me and this and this and that. And I saw the picture and I'm like, that woman's like a 9. And I look at my bro and I'm like, bro, like, what do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, yeah, every time I go to a bar, bro, he's using the B word. Like, these girls don't pay no attention to me. They pay attention to you if you have the VIP. And I'm just like, bro. Bro, like, I don't want to tell you. So all I'm going to do is just nod and agree. Just be like,
I will say this, dude, too. Let me take a shot first.
Yeah.
Guys are stupid as fuck.
So fucking stupid.
Guys are stupid as fuck. I know dudes that I grew up with in my city, right? 626, shout out to Ballin Park. But I know guys that I grew up with that we have mutual friends, and they complain about how broke they are. They're asking for money from homies. They don't have no money. But when they go to the club, they fucking get bottle service. They buy a booth. They spend so much fucking money on just trying to look cool for even friends or girlfriends that they want to fuck and shit.
Or strangers.
They got bottle servers of fucking hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Fucking, put it on my credit card. Yeah. I know this guy that used to do that shit all the time, but it was his dad's credit card, and dad would just pay for it, right? And he would just rack that shit up just to look cool for our mutual friends, especially the girls and shit. Just say, I got, hey, you want a bottle? I'll give you two, right? And that girl would be like, woo, and just go talk to somebody else and shit. And I'm like, bro, and then they're like, oh, I don't have any money. I need help right now. I'm like, bro, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah. That's the first issue here. You're a fucking moron. Yeah, and it's, you have to acknowledge that first, that you're a fucking retard. Okay, sorry, you're a fucking idiot. And maybe you should stop trying to impress these women that obviously don't give a fuck about you, or especially random strangers. Stop trying to impress them with bottles and money, because that shit ain't real, dog. These people, these girls, these people are just gonna be like, oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, because we know how girls are, especially if they're just trying to go out and have fun and fucking not really trying to do anything. They just want to go with the girls, and they know these guys are gonna buy them drinks. Stop being that fucking guy. They're just gonna be like, yeah, come on, you get a bottle. Yeah, oh, you got girls with you? I got 2 bottles. I gotta buy another booth. Yeah. Stop being that fucking guy, man. Stop being a fucking idiot. Oh my god, I know too many of those guys,
dude.
Too many of those guys.
There was one time when I was single, I went to a bar. I was taking a friend that just moved to LA out to a bar in Hollywood. Yeah. And I was like showing him around, and I was treating him good because I'm like, like get any drink you want, man. I'm introducing you to the city and things like that. And then there was a group of girls that were really into us.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up dropping almost $400 that night on drinks for everyone.
That shit happens.
In the moment, I had no problem doing it. In the moment, I'm just like, hey, you want a shot? You want a shot? Even random people, I was like, you want a shot? Yeah, for sure. A beer. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And my homie did get laid. I didn't. But I didn't care because I was just like, I just want my homie to get laid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the girl that was feeling me, I wasn't really feeling her. But I was like, man, I remember getting in an Uber home and I'm like, this was an awesome night, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. I was like lit as fuck. Next morning, I'm like, I had to put my glasses on to see my fucking bank statement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm never doing that ever again in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-game.
Of course.
Pre-game.
And listen, sometimes you wild out at a bar, at an expensive bar, and you wild out, and that's fine. Every once in a while, like you wild out, you're like, hey, I'll give my homie a drink.
Yeah, but I would never get VIP service or bottle service.
No.
Absolutely fucking not.
Hell fucking no.
For a bottle that's $30 at the Ralph's or a supermarket,
fucking hundreds of dollars.
$350 plus another $500 for the booth.
Yeah.
Plus fucking $40 for every Red Bull.
Listen.
Plus $30 for the ice chest.
I haven't gone to the club many times, but I have gone with my girlfriend, right? And I love it because there was like 4 dudes that they know that fucking are gonna give them bottle service. I give them a bottle, and I'm like, hey, can I get some of that fucking bottle? And they're like, yeah, and I get some, and ooh, I get lit for free. I feel like a fucking chicken shit, right? Yeah. But I'm like, dog, while I'm buzzed, I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot, man. And then lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
No, but yeah, I've been in several VIP bottle services.
Yes.
But as a guest, my homie was doing it, and they're just like, yeah, come through. You know what I mean? There's one time I was waiting in line to get in the club, and I just saw my homie like that I haven't seen in years randomly pass me, and I'm like, oh, yo, bro, and he's like, Melvin, what the fuck? What's up, man? Yeah. And he's like, what are you waiting in line for? I was like, I'm just waiting in line to get in there. He's like, who you with? And I'm like, oh, my 2 homies right here. He's like, bro, come with me. And he helped us cut the line because he had like VIP service, and then we chilled in the VIP with him all night. And I'll never forget that, his other friends were so upset that we were there. They would ask us every single time, yo, who you know here? Who you know here? And I'm like, oh, so-and-so. And they'd be like, oh, how do you know him? It's like, I went to high school and college with him, bro. Yeah. Like, I met him when I was 15, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He's like a cool homie. And every now and then he'd come, like, obviously he's mingling and getting girls, and he'd come and say, Melvin, it was so good to see you. And he would hug me, and I would make sure his fucking friends see me because they did not want us there. Because who knows what they had to do to get there? Yeah, suck up to the homie or fucking, you know what I mean? Like kiss his ass and shit while he just picked me up off the street. Yeah, and then another time, my homie who was a sugar baby, was having her 25th birthday, at this fancy ass club in Hollywood, and she invited me and my 2 other homies that were close to her. She's like, "Yo, we're celebrating my birthday, here and here." And we're thinking it's just like a bar lounge area. We get there and the line is like 3 blocks down. It's like the hottest fucking club. I forget the name, but hottest fucking club in fucking Hollywood. There's like Maseratis and Lamborghinis in the VIP section. And we're just like, oh fuck, like, damn, we're not gonna get in, bro. Like, just text. We probably gotta text her like we're probably not gonna get in. And we text her and she's like, no, you just go up to the guy and say your name. You're on the list. Yeah. And we're just like, okay, Melvin Diaz and so-and-so and so-and-so. And he's just like, oh, yeah, follow me. And we had like the VIP and NBA players were right next. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't know if you know him. No. He's this NBA player. He used to play for the Timberwolves. Now he's the New York Knicks, one of the best centers in the league. He was right next to us. But he was like in sweats and a sweater with his hood on. But it doesn't matter. He's 6'11", fucking world famous NBA player. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I was just like, holy shit.
You feel like a little hot girl over
there. Yeah, I was like, damn, NBA players, Karl.
Like you're fucking like you're fully dressed like a dude, but you're like picking up you're putting your dress down, making sure it doesn't go up.
And like the bottle service girls came out with like the sparkles and everything, and we were just like, holy shit, like. And the girl's like, don't worry, Jerry's paying for all that. I forget the name. He's like, Jerry's paying for all of this. And I was like, where's he at? Oh, he had to work. Yeah. And it's just like, I remember being like, damn, bro, you got it made. Bro, and she was like, yeah. It is pretty cool, I guess.
It's pretty cool.
And I'm like, bro, he's at work.
And he's still
He's
fucking,
just like, baby, go celebrate your birthday with your friends.
Yeah.
Invite whoever you want. Yeah. And she was cool, but she had to move back to France. But even to this day, like if she was still staying in LA, I would still be going to like these bottle service places and shit. But she was like the nicest girl, but what you called? Yeah, dude.
We should do that for SoulPrimos one day. Go to bottle service, get bottle service for like a girls or fucking
or like go to the long line and just be like pick out like who we think is cool. Like, hey, bro, who you here with? Oh, I'm here with my homie, my best friend since high school. You guys want to do bottle service VIP?
We gotta get the person that would never think they would get bottle service. Oh, don't get like the super hot, fucking good looking model and just like with the jawline. Be like people that look like us. Be like, hey, homie. You come in here, dog. They're like, what?
Paisas.
Yeah. Nosotros. Sí. Ven para acá, güey. Ven para acá. And then fucking, dude, hell yeah.
Hey, cheers. That's the goal.
That story you brought up about spending money and then fucking being like the next day being, what the fuck? I remember one time, dude, I went to a strip club around the corner out here. And I went and did my thing, got a couple of dances, no big deal, right? Talked to them a couple of times and shit. I remember one time the girl was like, oh, you want a blowjob? And I was like, yeah. It's gonna be this much. I was like, okay, right? And then she was getting ready to do it. And for some reason, I just got grossed the fuck out, right? Grossed the fuck out. She started getting the condom out. And I was like, oh, no, you're good.
You hate condoms.
I was like, oh, you're like, ew, what the fuck? Don't use a condom. And then she was just like, and I was like, oh no, you don't have to do this if you don't want. She's like, but you paid me. I was like, no, you don't have to do it. Just go out and do your thing out there, right? And then she's like, okay. God. And then she walked out. She just left to go down to another guy. And then I got out and I went home and I just remember looking at my hands. And then the next day I was like, fuck, the $400 I spent. I got so mad because that time I was working at Chipotle. Like 25 30 hours a week. And I was like, this is like more than half my check, bro.
Yeah. It's like a week and a half of work.
Yes.
Of your life.
So then it was just miserable existence, man, when you spend money like that. Yeah. I can't imagine doing that every fucking weekend trying to impress motherfuckers, man. That's why guys, stop being stupid, man.
Yeah, man.
Stop being fucking stupid.
Because then that just makes you bitter and then you take it out on the wrong people instead of yourself. You should take it out on yourself. Be better.
Yeah, bro. Take it out on yourself.
You see these times where we talk about, I'm not saying we're perfect, but these times where we talk about these mistakes, it's just like, fuck, what the fuck did I do? You weren't upset with the stripper. Oh, no. You weren't upset with the stripping establishment.
No.
When I spent all that money, I wasn't upset with my friend. I wasn't upset with these random girls.
Upset with myself.
I'm upset with myself. And in the moment, we were having a pretty good time.
We were having a good time. But looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, you don't have money, man.
Yeah, you don't got it like that, dog. You don't got it like that, dog.
And I was influenced easier back then.
Yeah.
Where I knew my homies, but then I realized that they have credit cards, they have this, they have that, and I was like, I don't have a credit card. Yeah. My credit score is pretty bad. I just have a debit card.
It's so crazy that you mentioned that. The older you get, the more I realize, the more you realize too. Like, I'm like looking at people that I hang out with that like flex and shit like that, and I start realizing like, oh, dude, you grew up in Pasadena. Like, you grew up in a 3-story house. Yeah. You know, your father's an engineer and your mother is a bio doctor, a biotech doctor, a technician. Oh, and your grandparents own like 10 acres of land up the street. Yeah. Oh, that's why you can do all this shit. Yeah. And the older you get, the more you realize like a lot of these folks fucking have it since birth. Yeah. They have that privilege, the money, the economic status and shit like that. And it's just like, oh, I can't do that, bro. I don't have that shit. My grandparents don't own 10 acres.
And listen, I'm not hating on the parents or grandparents. That's badass. Especially if they're immigrants. And maybe their parents are first generation.
Look, of course, everyone works so they can give their family things. I get it.
But if you're flexing and you're acting like you're a fucking badass just because you haven't done shit, but your parents did their hard work and you're just here to fucking like, oh, I got this car. Yeah, no big deal. It's like, what the fuck? You broke. I'm like, bitch, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's so crazy. Flexing is bad, man. I remember one time at my old studio, one of my neighbors got brutally beat. He had like a clothing store. I don't know if he actually sold clothes, but it was a little clothing store. And it was on the news and everything. He got fucking brutally fucking beat, but because they tried to rob him and he fought back and he got brutally beat. He was in a coma and all that shit. And then I'm just like, I remember being kind of freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is random act of violence, like a couple stores down from my studio. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. And then I looked him up on Instagram. Every post is him with the Rolex. Every post is him in a private jet. Like, hey guys, like if you want to hustle, wake up at 5, type of that shit in front of, with some like hired baddies and in front of a fucking fancy sports car. And I'm just like, ain't nobody gonna rob me, dog.
Bro, a part of me wants to get fucking rich just so I can be normal. Just be like, oh, I woke up at 10 and then I took a break like at 2. I got a sandwich, went to Subway.
Yeah.
Went Chipotle afterwards because I was still kind of full.
I want to get rich so I can be like, yeah, I DoorDash 3 times today. Yeah. And I tip $10 each time.
Yeah. And I want to be rich and be like, oh yeah, I went to Food for Less because like they have cheaper chicken.
Yeah.
And then because the other one, like Target, Whole Foods expensive. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, I want to be rich enough where I can be like, yeah, I get my groceries from Target.
Yeah, I want to be rich and be like, oh yeah, I thrifted everything I have here. Like there's just stains here from the guy that died and wearing this shit. He died while being shot. There's bullet holes on my shirt.
Yeah. I want to be rich enough where I can pull up to a gas station and not look up at how expensive the gas is.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
And just fill it up. I
want to be rich and still be normal. Where like, hey bro, your tires are all bald. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm trying to save like $700, man. Yeah. Like, well, you can afford it. I'm like, $700 though. Yeah. I want to be rich and still be like $12 for a Jack and Coke. What the fuck? Yeah. This is BP. Yeah. What are you doing? This is BP.
You want to be frugal.
Yeah, this is my city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is my city. You shouldn't be charging $12 for a fucking Jack and Coke. Is that so bad?
No, it's not bad at all.
So bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be rich and I want no one to know that I'm rich.
I want you to be rich enough where you improve your vocabulary.
Fuck. Why do I have to be rich when I have you, dude?
And that brings us to our newest segment.
I think the first segment we've ever had.
The first segment we've ever had. It's called Word of the Day.
Woo!
And shout out to And shout out to our SoulPrimo George for the incredible idea.
Yeah.
I think I've realized ever since I've met Joel, I kind of say some words and then I can see in his eyes, he's just like, and I go, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
And he used to come from a caring place where I'm like, do you know what that means? But then slowly but surely it became kind of a nefarious, facetious thing where I'm like, do you know what that means, bro?
Yeah, because the first time I remember when you were like, I'm being facetious, and I was like, you mean what? I don't know what the fuck you were talking. I thought you were saying factitious. Yeah. I still think you're saying that.
Yeah.
But,
facetious.
Yeah.
But now we're going to have a little segment each episode where I teach Joel one new word, kind of like SAT prep.
Yes.
Do you know what the SATs are?
Oh, yes. Standardized ass tasting.
Come on.
We know we both have ass.
Yeah. Look. So for your first word.
Okay.
The very first.
The only one, right?
Yeah, the very first word of the day.
Okay.
Filibuster.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
That's when someone's talking to me. That's when someone's talking to me about a girl, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll feel and busting her. Oh, shit, dude, come on, man. Hey, come on, right here with me, babe. That will be cut.
That's the dumbest and the most clever thing I've ever heard you say. I want to feel it busting her. Filibuster.
With all due respect, I'm a married man.
What do you know what that means?
Yes.
What?
I think when Phillips.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's an action such as a prolonged speech that obstructs progress in a legislative assembly while not technically contravening the required procedures.
What's the regular? Can we find actual? Why is that? Okay, word of the sentence of the day. What is all that shit?
Yeah. So basically, it's like it's when someone.
Don't tell me you don't know any words.
It's when you want to fill in bust. No, it's like when you like kind of senators use it in the Congress room.
Yes.
The Congress room.
Yeah.
And they kind of like extend their speech for a prolonged amount of time to kind of disrupt other proceedings that are supposed to go on. And, Democrats use it against the Republicans. Republicans use it as the Democrats. And I bring it up because there's a Democratic...
Let me take that shot.
Yeah. This makes you want to drink up.
So it's a word or a phrase.
So it's kind of
elongated to disrupt
to disrupt the happenings of government officiating.
So when something's going on, you just fucking like.
It's just like, hey, we have to come up with a solution for this by 6 p.m. today, and then you go up and filibust, and you're like, today I want to talk about Baldwin Park.
Ooh.
And everyone's like, okay, 30 minutes. And then you're like, Baldwin Park, it all started when I was born.
And they're like, okay, well, we got to go now. We got to fucking settle the dispute. We got to fucking vote.
Yeah.
I'm like, Baldwin Park would not be ignored like it has been for the last 50 years.
Lefty Gunplay!
Lefty Gunplay, a progressive rapper from the east side of Baldwin Park. And they're like, we have to figure out if rights for men will be taken away.
Exactly. Yeah.
The rights for Baldwin Park citizens are being taken away every single day. That's like Donald Trump.
That's literally what it is. And Democratic Senator Booker, he did a 25-hour filibuster yesterday.
Wow.
And then finished it today.
Why did they shoot that for?
I think it's stupid. That's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever. He did it against Trump.
Okay.
And I'm sure, he had his reasons for it. But I think it's kind of childish.
Yeah, it's
where
really
it's just like, you guys are senators and congressmen and like, you're supposed to be responsible for all of us. Yet you're over here kind of like, and furthermore, this country was founded on democracy. And it's just like children. Saying a bunch of bullshit, nonsense, non sequiturs that fucking just waste time.
Yeah.
Do something. Stop wasting time.
Exactly. All the fucking bunch of nonsense they're doing in there, man.
Bro.
So filibuster is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, Philip is a buster, dog.
I feel like the buster.
when
I'm gonna go to my homie's marriage and Philip busted her. Philip busted her, you know what I'm saying?
Philip busted the marriage?
Yeah, Philip busted her.
It's like ting, ting, ting. So my best friend's getting married today. And it reminds me of a very important thing. Baldwin Park is a fucking city in Los Angeles.
Does anybody have to, before I pronounce it man and wife, does anybody have anything to say against this beautiful marriage?
It's just like, Baldwin Park, and then the priest is like, you gotta get married by 6 or else it won't happen.
Baldwin Park is a city.
Lefty Gunplay.
Joe Romero. Come on, man. Philip, what? Busted her. Whoa.
Dude.
Bro, I like that word.
Filibuster.
Filibustering her. Filibuster.
Yeah. Filibuster.
Okay, how do you actually pronounce it?
Filibuster.
Filibuster.
Yeah, filibuster.
Filibuster.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's what I've always been.
You kind of are a filibuster because you start a sentence and you don't know when it's gonna finish.
Oh yeah. Detective! That's a filibuster right there. That's a filibuster right there, baby. That's a filibuster.
Yeah, so filibuster, that's the first word of our word of the day segment.
Wow.
DM me, not SoulPrimos, DM me at childishmelvino, words that you want me to teach Joel.
Yes.
If you have like any good words. And
because this has to be a surprise.
It has to be a surprise, yeah. So leave a comment and be like, oh, I know a word, and then DM me personally, and then we do it. Yeah.
Well, Melvin, we've done it again.
We've done it yet again, mate.
We've done it again. Listen, to all our SoulPrimos, we should say this in the beginning, but please subscribe. We're at 809 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 before summer, else we're gonna quit.
Yeah, and I just want to say this is episode 65.
I don't know.
64.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 69.
Yeah. But we've been putting it out an episode every single week for 65 weeks. That's a year and 3 months. And we do it for you guys. We do it for SoulPrimos. And big things coming this year.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't agree with that. I do it for me first.
Oh.
And then for you guys. Listen, I love SoulPrimos, man.
I love SoulPrimos, but what you call that? I want to say something. I want to say something. I just got a new job.
Ooh.
And I might not be able to do SoulPrimos anymore.
What?
Yeah. And I thought I would tell you like on the podcast. Also, today's April 1st. April Fool's, bitch!
What the fuck?
You got scared! You got scared! You almost started crying! You almost started crying!
Fuck you!
Guys, rewind it when he goes, what?
Fuck you! I actually believed you.
You have tears in your eyes.
It sounds like something something you would say. It sounds like something you would say because you don't give a fuck about SoulPrimos. You don't filibuster up. Filibuster, you're a fucking filibuster, bitch. You don't give a fuck about SoulPrimos.
I'm almost busting this fucking podcast.
Philip,
hey, cheers, man. We love you, SoulPrimos. We ain't never gonna quit, homie.
We love you. Here, al pa arriba, pa dentro, Joto. Whoa. We're out. Subscribe.
Bye.